Hello, hi. And this is a big hello to all my regular viewers, my followers. How have you been? Without further ado, here is Sarah Ferguson's A Most Intriguing Lady. And I looked for figures of speech because I thought I would do figures of speech. And it's very interesting. In a sense, but it is drivel. All right. It's very this is the sort of book, chick book, well, women like. All right, so dwelling on kisses and kissing between the space between fingers, and kissing there, and thrills passing through the heroine's body, and that sort of thing. All right, I'm giving the game away. You should read the book. So no figures of speech, but then I found a few things of note, about three things of note, and I'll share these with you. Lord Provost. So Sarah Ferguson has talked about Lord Provost, and who wants to dance the next reel with her. And there's an office of the Provost in the University of Toronto. Oh, my earring. My earring. There's an office of the Provost in the University of Toronto, and just quickly refer to it. I had forgotten, and Office of the Provost. Office of the Provost, and so Vice President and Provost, and so this is responsible for academic and budgetary matters at the University of Toronto, the division of the Vice President and Provost, and there's a Vice Provost, etc. So you can look it up. So I found this. So Lord Provost must have, dealt budgetary details to aspiring engineers, writers, artists. So that was the point of note I wanted to make. Somehow, Lord. This was a culture which was based on, the classes, the upper classes and the lower classes. So the Lord Provost, unlike the democracy in the Canadian democracy now, or University of Toronto, which is also, sort of. In its own way, although there's hierarchy and administrative bodies which have to, because of the office they hold, require respect, have a different sort of. It's not called Lord Provost. It's called, Office of the Vice President and Provost. So anyways, that's what I wanted to say. And then I was reading through the book, looking for figures of speech. I've read 3/4 of the book, past 200 pages. So it's 300 and odd. About 2/3 of the book. And then I couldn't find, and I thought I saw pudding. And then I decided to make Christmas pudding with all the gingerbread spices. So that sort of fell into place together. Christmas pudding and, Christmas time's actually coming, because Santa just stopped by to say hello, and he actually didn't give me any Santa Claus rewards. So at this time, maybe Christmas pudding. I make Christmas pudding, and things are going to change. My luck's going to change, but this is pretty good luck at this time. And I have an excerpt from the book, which I would like to read. The British were such a meat-oriented society. Remember, I pointed out in Robin Hood, the excerpt I read, if to my followers who've been with me through many of my videos, the excerpt I read from the Robin Hood book, the song, a meat seller is singing, to all the lassies and gals around, come and buy meat, penny worth meat and 2 penny worth meat and everything. So that was sort of interesting. So this is at the table. So I'll just give you a bit of a background. In the kitchen, cook was presiding over the assembly of lunch on the long deal table that stretched the entire length of the room. It looked as if it would feed an army. There were 4 huge pies cooling, the perfectly brown crust glistening, each decorated with a different element of the Bakluyuk arms. So, which is interesting, which is, I guess, the coat of arms, I'm imagining. Decorating the cake, I mean, it's hard to make, right? A flock of roast poultry was laid out in descending order. A goose at the head, followed by chicken, pheasant, grouse, pigeon, and ptarmigan. There were elaborate savory jellies, fresh out of the copper molds, with delicate morsels suspended in their gleaming depths, looking far too fragile to survive the jolting journey to the luncheon location. There was a whole salmon with cucumber scales and a pig's head with an apple between its jaws. There were cream horns and strawberry tarts, a Stilton wheel, and several of the small, crowdy cheeses fresh from the Drumland Ring dairy. And of course, there was a tower of pineapples waiting to be carved into exotic shapes. So that was the table. So what appeals to me? The desserts, of course. Carving my own pineapple into whatever shape I wish. Maybe a maybe a, a, a maybe a pig's head. That might be good. So so things like that, strawberry tarts, and the jellies, all of those. Those appeal to me. So and so I just wanted to read out the menu. So this was what I wanted to discuss from Sarah Ferguson's book. You may know her as Fergie. She is I think, I have no idea. I haven't checked on this. She was married to Prince Andrew, but I think I checked her. But she's still the Duchess of York. So so I guess they're still married together. Although the king, King Charles III, distanced himself from his brother Prince Andrew because Prince Andrew was caught in some sexual misconduct sort of thing. Anyways, so signing out for this video, Gayatri B. Sitaram, but don't go away. I have a gig coming up with tarot cards. Thank you.